Good day everybody, this time I'm going to discover Iceland on a bus day trip from Reykjavik to the Snaefellsnes Peninsula. Gaze in awe at the Snæfellsjökull glacier, see black sand beaches, visit a fishing village, and see Kirkjufell mountain. Our first viewpoint will be Vatnaleid Mountain Pass, a place where there is a stunning lava field with a small waterfall and lakes. Road 56, the Vatnaleid Mountain Pass, is the most direct route between the south and north coasts of the Snaefellsnes. As you cross the mountain route, look out for birds, especially by the rivers and lakes. On the north side, there is a lay-by with a breathtaking view over the Berserkjaran lava flow below and over Bride of Jora Bay with its countless islands. From the lay-by, you can walk downstream along the Fossa River to a lovely waterfall about 5 minutes away. On a sunny day, it is so nice to stop by the beautiful view spot with chairs and tables made out of basalt columns. From here is a breathtaking view of the lakes, volcanoes, and vast lava fields. This is one of my favorite places here on the Snaefellsnes Peninsula, and my former secret place, as it were, is hidden away here. If you go down the hill, you will find these waterfalls in the river Fossa in two parts. The upper part has a path behind it, and the lower waterfall is wonderful for a picnic, where you can be totally in peace in a very tranquil place. Or that is what it used to be like. These waterfalls don't seem to have a name, they are just called Foss and Fossa River, as far as I know. Foss and Fossa literally means waterfall in waterfall river, but there are many waterfalls in Iceland with that name. I have now seen that someone renamed Fosskindafoss or Sheep Waterfall, but that is a made-up name. A lovely name though. I understand why sheep seek shelter behind the upper waterfall. If you look closely at my photo above, you will see a sheep with her 2 lambs resting on the ledge behind the waterfall. Next, we headed towards the famous mountain called Mount Kirkjufell. Before we reach Mount Kirkjufell, we stopped for a lunch break in a small city along the way. Mount Kirkjufell, together with Kirkjufellsfoss waterfall on Snaefellsnes Peninsula, is one of Iceland's most visited and iconic sites. Without any doubt, Mount Kirkjufell is one of the most photographed places in Iceland, and for a good reason. The wonderful scenery attracts landscape photographers from all around the world, same as day trippers from Reykjavik, people ticking bucket list places off their list, or travelers exploring the Snaefellsnes Peninsula. To be honest, I was quite disappointed at the beginning, because the waterfall seemed really small, especially when compared with some of the best falls in Iceland we had seen during our road trips, such as Seljalandsfoss, Skagafoss, Gullfoss, or Dettifoss. But it is necessary to know that the waterfall just completes here all the beauty. It is not alone the main point of interest. We parked the bus, and a well-maintained path led us a few hundred meters slightly uphill. We crossed a bridge and reached the viewpoint from where it is best to take that sought-after photo of the church mountain and waterfall. Here we had to give this site credit as it was much more spectacular than from the road. Kirkjufell is 463 meters high peak towering above the sea, and it got its shape from the process of erosion during Ice Age. Unless you wait for better light or sunset, the visit itself won't take you long. Allow yourself approximately 15 to 30 minutes. Except for enjoying the views, we spent some time watching local kids jumping into the icy cold river flowing from the waterfall. They had wetsuits, but we still found it a cool way how to kill time, as it was an activity kids usually do not do in our homeland, the Czech Republic. By the way, some of you might recognize Kirkjufell Mountain from the popular series Game of Thrones. In case you want to get an even closer connection with the mountain and get even better views, it is possible to climb Kirkjufell. But given the steep terrain and difficulty, it is recommended to be well experienced, or even better, hire a guide and not to set off when the weather is bad. Next, we headed towards the famous black sand beach Djúpalónssandur Beach. Before we reached Djúpalónssandur Beach, we stopped at a viewpoint that is absolutely stunning view of the beach. I flew my drone there and took some photos and videos of the beach. Djúpalónssandur Beach is one of the must-see places in Snaefellsnes. Its black sands and colossal rock formations captivate all those who visit. The beach is at the foot of Snæfellsjökull glacier and is one of the highlights of West Iceland. The black pebbles are constantly being brought to the beach by the ocean waves, but it is forbidden to pick them as they are protected, and Icelanders want to keep them at the beach. Strolling along the beach, you'll get to admire the volcanic landscapes and the numerous rocks covered with curious moss or forming different shapes. Some see a troll, others imagine a church. You'll also see the remains of the Apine 7 British pounds, a fishing boat that was shipwrecked off the coast of Djúpalónssandur on the night of March 13, 1948. When the weather's good in Iceland, it can be very tempting to take a dip in a place as spectacular as Djúpalónssandur. However, bathing is forbidden on this black beach. The lack of lifeguards, the unpredictability of the Icelandic tides, and a large number of rocks visible or not on this coast make swimming in Djúpalónssandur very dangerous. Back in the day, Djúpalónssandur used to be a fishing village and home to about 60 fishing boats. On the beach, there are 4 big stones, all of the different sizes. These stones are called Flóraunasteinar or lifting stones, as they were used by the fishermen in Iceland to measure their strength to see if they were qualified to work on the fishing boats. The smallest stone is called Amloy and weighs 23 kilos. Next one is called Halfdrættingur and weighs 54 kilos. Then there is Halfstærkur, which weighs 100 kilos, and the last one and the heaviest one is Fullstærkur, weighs 154 kilos. You are welcome to try to lift the stones to measure your strength if you dare. On the beach, there are ruins of a shipwreck lying around there in the sand. These ruins are from a British fishing ship called the Apine, £7 that was wrecked there on March 13, 1948. 14 men lost their lives that day and 5 lived. The ruins from the ship are kept on the beach in memory of the fishermen and should not be touched. Our final destination is Arnarstapi Village. I heard that we can see stunning scenery of beach and lava formation. Dedicated to the legendary figure of Bara Snæfellsnes, the protagonist in the 14th century Icelandic saga of Bara Snæfellsnes. The quaint stone statue is Arnarstapi's most noticeable man-made monument. Created by the renowned Icelandic sculptor Ragnar Kjartansson, it perches on the village's craggy shoreline, overlooking its spectacular rock formations. A son of a human mother and a half-troll, half-giant father, Bara grew up in Kirkjufell in Norway under the care of a mountain dweller named Dofri, whose daughter, Flaumgerur, ultimately married Bara and gave birth to his 3 daughters. After Flaumgerur's death, he married once again to Herwer, a human being, whom he had with 6 more daughters. As a result of persecution by the Norwegian king, Bara emigrated to Iceland, where he settled with his family and a couple of friends in the southern part of Snaefellsnes Peninsula, approximately at the current location of modern-day Arnarstapi. Bara lived in Iceland alongside his half-brother, Orkell, whose son, Raufelde, used to play with his daughter, Helga. One day when the two had played, Raufelde nudged Helga when she stood on along the rocky coastline, causing her to fall on an iceberg whereby she drifted to Greenland. When Bara heard about what happened, he lost his mind and pushed Raufelde into a deep gorge, triggering a violent confrontation with his father, Orkell. Following his sheer ordeal, Bara fled from Arnarstapi into the close by Snaefellsnes Glacier, where according to legend he still resides into these days. Over the centuries, Bara became a mythical figure among locals, who worshipped him as the village's protector, calling for his help whenever they encounter hardships. Given Bara's significant role as the village's guardian spirit, the massive sculpture seems like a natural gesture that resonates with a centuries-old tradition. Additionally, the statue marks the trailhead of the coastal pathway that winds between a host of natural wonders. Arnarstapi is a village on the southern side of the Snaefellsnes Peninsula, once a fishing hub and now a place for travelers to refuel before entering Snæfellsjökull National Park. The area has several old and charming houses with interesting stories to them and is renowned for its beautiful nature. The beautiful Arnarstapi is one of my favorite places on the Snaefellsnes Peninsula. The extraordinary columnar basalt and cliff formations here are breathtaking in beauty, and one of Iceland's most beautiful natural harbors is at Arnarstapi. Take a tour of the harbor and the sea cliffs during the breeding season of the birds, and you will hear a myriad of birds squawking, mostly kittiwakes, gulls, fulmars, and the cranky Arctic tern. And when you come closer to the pillars, which are white with guano, the smell becomes almost overwhelming. From the platform, you will also see the most beautiful basalt columns, which reach inside a beautiful cave. I am totally in love with basalt columns and call them artwork of nature, as they are ever so beautiful and look like they have been sculptured by an artist. Dat culture is particularly spectacular for photographers, amateurs, and professionals alike. The strange, swirling patterns across the rock itself are a testament to the ocean's constant barrage and makes for a fascinating photographic subject.